we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Session C of Women's History Month 2021 event. My name is Genesis Ortega. I have to say, I am so excited to be your moderator for this session. This has been such an awesome event. I was tuned in listening to the panels and speakers. I have a 1-year-old with me at home, and right before it was time for his nap, he was bopping to the Vedanta Dance group I shared with my networking session. So that was pretty awesome just to see him dancing randomly. I know that we're all at home and not together, but I have to say that something like this is actually really refreshing and inspiring for me as a mom. Again, I shared in the networking session that I went into maternity leave in January of 2020 and jumped right back into work in April in the midst of a full-fledged pandemic. I felt some sadness that I wasn't able to join mom groups or take my son out to enjoy the world as I had imagined that we could. But honestly, this is quite possibly the best group really that I could have imagined to stimulate my mind and fuel my tank with inspiration. All of you ladies are really incredible. I know it sounds cliche, but I really have no words to describe how in awe I am about the talent, the inspiration, the wisdom, the encouragement that I've felt throughout today. And that's only with 90 women. So can you imagine what we can do on a much larger scale? So we have an incredible agenda for this session. I just want to remind everyone that this session is approximately 2 hours. So as your agenda shows, we will have individual speeches, a panel, performance, awards, and more. So just sit back, relax for this final session, and enjoy the view. I believe that we have a scheduling change right now. I don't know if Congresswoman Susan Wild is going to join us. Yes, she is. So it's an incredible honor to introduce our first speaker. Congresswoman, go ahead and turn your camera and microphone on. And while she's doing that, I also want to note how our very own Congresswoman is the first woman to represent the Lehigh Valley. Don't they say that women get more done in Congress than men? Congresswoman, you're going to have to let us know on that one. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much, Genesis. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, you're great.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks, everybody. I really am so happy you're doing this. And it's a gorgeous day, which is sort of, in my view, a really just a good sign for this kind of event. I'm still in DC. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I hope it's as gorgeous in the Lehigh Valley as it is here. I just want you to know how grateful I am to be able to join you all today. And I hope all of you and your families are doing all right during this very tough time. I feel like we've made a lot of progress. We know we still have a long way to go, but relief is on the way for our community. Hopefully, many of you have already seen some relief, not enough, I'm sure, but I'm really proud to have been part of this recent vote on the American Rescue Plan that I believe will be a really fundamental step towards getting us back on track, getting us back to where we were. There was a lot of work to be done even before the pandemic. So we also have to keep that in mind. But right now, it's a matter of getting back on track to where we were and then making more progress as though the pandemic had never occurred. I fully intend to keep working as hard as I possibly can to ensure that pandemic relief, as well as everything else we need to do for our community, is delivered as efficiently and swiftly as possible. During this Women's History Month, I really believe that we should pay particular tribute to the women who have borne so much of the burden throughout this devastating COVID crisis. I actually gave a speech about it on the House floor earlier this week because I feel in honor of Women's History Month, and I just feel so strongly that we need to recognize that women have borne a tremendous and different burden than their male counterparts during this pandemic. As the women are a disproportionate share of our frontline workers, and they have done the hard work of protecting our community and keeping us safe, often without adequate protections themselves, without hardship pay, without the ability to work from home, as so many of us have over the last year. And under the most adverse circumstances, they have always put their neighbors and their community members ahead of their own health and safety. The least that they should be able to expect in return is good pay, adequate PPE, and robust workplace safety standards on the job. As many of you know, I am a member of the Education and Labor Committee in the House of Representatives, and I intend to keep fighting for those priorities every single day. As we continue to ramp up the nationwide vaccination effort and begin to make progress medically in the fight against the pandemic, I know that we're all looking forward to a brighter future when we can safely gather together and see our loved ones in person again. That has probably been the hardest thing about the pandemic, except of course for those people who have lost family members to COVID, which is even harder. And just my heart goes out to all of you. But when we finally emerge from this health and economic crisis, I think it's really, really important that we not just go back to the way things were. We truly need to, in the president's words, build back better. And better is where the emphasis belongs in my mind. To my mind, that means raising the minimum wage to a living wage. It means finally guaranteeing equal pay for equal work. It means defending the right to organize and to collectively bargain. It means putting quality, affordable childcare within reach for every working family. It means protecting pregnant workers and all workers on the job. It means providing that all workers, no matter how much they earn or the kind of work they do, that they have the ability to care for their loved ones or themselves when they are ill. These are issues facing working Americans of every gender and every background, but they are also women's issues because women make up so much of the American working class today. We know from examples throughout our history and around the world that expanding opportunity for women and girls results in greater opportunity for our sons as well as our daughters. So as we rebuild over these next 2 years, I am going to keep women top of mind when it comes to every policy and every issue facing this country. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for doing this. I am so honored to be a part of your group. Genesis, I can't hear you. I hope I'm not supposed to be responding. I don't think it's you. I think it's, well, maybe it's you. Hi. Now I can hear you.
Okay, my computer froze. How is this? Thank you so much, Congresswoman, for joining us and for keeping women's issues, is what I would say, at the top of your priorities in Congress. We all really appreciate it. This was awesome. You're going to be joining us back in a little bit, so you can go and turn your camera and microphone on for the time being, and I'll bring you back on in a few minutes. Thank you. Now it's an honor to bring back to the stage our next guests, Fairuzi Desai and Vedanta Dance. Go ahead and turn your camera on and your microphone on. This was the same group, by the way, that my son was bopping to. So only to really further my point that this is the ultimate mom's group for me. Welcome, take it away.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Fairuzi Desai and I'm the director of Vedanta Dance Academy. I am a teacher, choreographer, and a performer. And I've been teaching Indian classical dance, Bollywood, and fusion dances for more than 18 years in the Valley. And this is amazing. Ngozi, I'm so grateful for being here and thank you for inviting us. This is really, really great, listening to these amazing women. I'm sorry that due to the technical issue, I couldn't pop up in the first dance, but that was our Indian classical performance about Lord Shiva, Lord of Dance. And so we were trying to give a picture of Shiva teaching his wife Parvati, and Parvati was the one who spread Bharatnatyam in the world. So that's what you saw. The next performance that you're going to be seeing is Indian folk dance. It is a Gujarati folk dance on a Bollywood music. I hope you all enjoy. And again, thank you for having us here.
Hello, everyone. Back again with some technical, we're not even going to call them technical difficulties, because as we've learned today, everything happens for a reason. Everything's an opportunity. So while Genesis just reboots her computer and gets back up, we are heading into the ultimate reboot. Oh, here comes Genesis. That's fantastic as well. Oh, yay, you're back.
Thank you, Deb, for stepping in.
People that you're going to introduce, because Nancy Werteen and Kim Howie of the Wisdom Coalition are the ultimate energy. So you go ahead, introduce their segment, and I'll hop off. And thank you so much, everyone. I hope you're, giggling along the way, because I told Genesis I'm ready for a nap. So the adventure continues, and thank you so much, my friends.
Thanks, Deb, for stepping in. I'm really sorry, everyone, about my tech issues. My computer is just freaking out, but that's just the digital and technology age that we're in right now. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there. We're going to have the Wisdom Coalition join us for a conversation on rising above negative self-talk to give power to joy. So that's Nancy Werteen and Kim Howie. Go ahead and turn your camera and microphone on.
Hey, Genesis, the funny thing about us all doing this event today is it's sort of like everybody is getting a look into what it's like to do live television. It's very much
you
like—
have no idea. But you know what? The exception is that I'm in my office and I have tech guys in the studio that can really work through these tech issues. Take it away, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm Nancy Werteen.
And I'm Kim Howie, and we're so excited to be with you all today.
Yeah, we're really honored. Together we make up the Wisdom Coalition, and we're going to be talking with you today about mindset. And what we've discovered in our research into positive psychology is that mindset is really the foundation for everything in your life. And so you really have to take a look inside and understand your mindset and figure out what you're saying to yourself, how you're saying it, and also why you're saying it, because that's what we help people do, is develop a mindset that's going to propel you forward and give you opportunities to find joy versus a mindset that's going to hold you back and prevent you from finding those opportunities.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to you today about rising above negative self-talk so that you can find more joy in your life. And so bear with me for a minute, because I'm going to share our screen. Let's see how we do.
Yeah, because, time after time when we interact with people, especially women, we find that negative self-talk is really one of those touch points that we find we have to address over and over again. So that was why, knowing we were going to be in front of a group of women, we wanted to talk really about negative self-talk.
Yeah, so I just want to draw your attention to the picture that's on the right-hand side of the screen. Hopefully you all are seeing my screen now. And what you'll see is a beautiful yellow banana looking into a mirror and seeing a rotten brown banana in the reflection. And I stumbled upon this picture several years ago. I was sitting on the couch with my then 13-year-old daughter and my husband. And I was scrolling through the internet and this picture popped up and I literally gasped. And it was funny. My daughter said, "What? Let me see." And I showed it to her and she said, "Oh my gosh, I can so relate to that. I so get that." And then my husband said, "Well, let me see." I show him the picture and he stares at it for what seems like an eternity, really. And then he goes, "I don't get it. I don't understand." He says, "Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't the brown banana be looking in the mirror and seeing the yellow banana? Like the old man who looks in the mirror and says, 'You got this. You still look good.'" And honestly, my first thought was, "Oh, wow, my next lifetime, I am definitely coming back as a man."
Yeah,
but then my next thought was, okay, here's the truth is we all struggle with negative self-talk. That inner critic, we all have it.
Yeah, we all do. And really, it's not our fault because there is something called the negativity bias. And what that means is that our brains, they actually naturally go toward negative things and focus on those things versus trying to look for positive things.
Yeah, I mean, we want to give you sort of an opportunity to visualize what this does to us when we have that negative self-talk going on all the time in our head. So imagine, if you would, that you have the opportunity to write on your hand every single thought that inner critic says to you. I'm not good enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm just not enough, right? Imagine that's written on the palm of your hand. And now take your hand and put it in front of your face. That's what it's like as you're navigating through life with all that negativity. All you see is that negativity in front of you. And as you slowly pull your hand away from your face and down a little bit, you notice that the whole world is opening up for you to see. And that's what we're hoping to do for you today.
Yeah. And you know, when we go through that exercise, it's really, and I hope you did it too, because it really just shows you that you're blocking yourself, you know? So we want to talk to you about the truth about mindset, because as we said, it's the foundation. And the truth is that you control your mindset and not the other way around. I don't know about you, but like years ago, I used to think to myself, you know, by the end of the day, I'd sort of rack up in 2 columns, you know, what happened that was good, what happened that was bad. And if there were more things in the good, well, then I was happy, right? And I had a good day. But that's not the way it works at all. In fact, we control our mindset, not our outside circumstances.
Yeah, and it's a choice we can make every single day. And like Nancy mentioned earlier, this negativity bias, our brains are actually hardwired for negativity, for our own survival. But the fact is we can create these new neural pathways in our brain to actually look for positivity.
Yeah, and then we can create an upward spiral. I mean, I think we're all familiar with the downward spiral, and that's not what we want. But by being more positive and catching more positivity and acting more positive toward people, I mean, this is our path to joy, creating that upward spiral.
Yeah, and then that ripples out, right? That ripple effect, like when you throw a stone across a pond, right? You want your positivity to ripple out into every exchange you have with other people, all of your relationships.
Yeah, and this next one, you know, your thoughts impact your health. And I think we all know that, but you really have to think that through. What you're thinking impacts your health. I mean, that is so important.
Yeah, it's amazing. It creates this cascade of hormonal releases, right? So when we're thinking negative thoughts, we have those harmful hormones that are being released in our body, and they create inflammation. And that inflammation is at the root of many diseases in our lives. So thinking through our mindset and being more positive not only helps our emotional well-being, but also our physical health.
Yeah, there are so many benefits to positivity, and that's what we try to help people with, trying to understand how they can naturally reach for positivity. But you do have to make that intention. And so the benefits of positivity, there's so many, you know, for people, as we said, there's better health, but also improved relationships. You know, your relationships with the people that love you, and even with people that you haven't even met yet, are going to be improved when you are more positive and you act more positively toward them.
Yeah, absolutely. And research has shown that when you are more positive, you're actually more creative. And that creativity spills over into the workplace and actually results in higher annual salaries.
Which is always a good thing. And we do a lot of work in corporations because these benefits of positivity translate in the corporate world in this way: lower healthcare costs. I mean, that's great. And low turnover rates. They lowers those. And we know that is a huge cost for companies, is when you have a higher turnover rate. If people are happier, employees are happier, they're going to stay longer.
Yeah, and improve morale. Who doesn't want to work in a workplace where there's a higher morale and more productive employees? All corporations are looking for that.
Yeah. And so this is what we do. We do a lot of work into positivity and joy. And so how can we help you? And the first thing we want you to know is that we've learned this is really something that even we have to work at all the time. I mean, we talk about this all day long, and yet we slip sometimes, and we need to remind each other.
Yeah, it's so funny because we've been sort of dubbed the joy ladies, right? And of course we love that term, but we also have to remind people that it is a choice and it's an action, and it's not a check one and done. It's every day. You have to wake up and remind yourself to be more positive. And we call each other our positivity partners, and we always offer out to other people, we'd be happy to be your positivity partners as well.
Yeah, because we're not happy all the time. Right? Nobody is. You can't be. But we try to make a conscious choice. So the first thing we do a number of things, is mindset management workshops within the corporate world. And of course, we're doing them now virtually, which is so great. You know, you talk about the silver lining. I mean, we weren't able to gather last year for this fantastic event, but we can this year. And so we're able now to go into corporations anywhere and help folks really in this time where we're struggling so much with, you know, juggling, working from home, kids at the dining room table trying to do their schoolwork, all those many things. So we're really thankful that we're able to go virtually now to be able to reach people and employees everywhere.
Yeah, and we have what we call our Well of Wisdom podcast, and that comes out on a weekly basis, and we cover a lot of different topics. We have experts on who talk to people about how to be more positive in their life, how to live a healthier lifestyle and improve your well-being. And that podcast can be found on 9 different platforms, including iTunes and SoundCloud.
And we do have twice a year retreats for women, and we're very, very excited because we're going to be doing our annual renewal retreat coming up April 18th at Belgate Farm, which is really, you know, we're calling it an injection of positivity, and we're just so excited to be able to gather and we do a lot of exercises, workshop type exercises, so that the things that we talk about hopefully will become habitual for people when we give them the tools and show them how, again, based in the real science of positive psychology. We're working with Belgate Farm to make sure that it's going to be COVID safe. So if you'd like to attend, we'd love to have you, and you can find information about it on our website under the retreats tab. Right?
Yeah. And also on our website, you can find our online programs. And these are programs that you can do at your own pace. And so we have a Reboot You program, which sort of takes you through the process of how to raise your well-being and how to become more positive in life. And we also have a program called Filling in the Missing Piece. And it's PEAC. It's a little bit of a play on words, but it's about that inner peace.
Yeah. And these are, you know, there's exercises, there's video elements, there's meditations. Kim does fabulous meditations and lots of things in there that will really help you. We also have our books that have been really helpful. The first is The Power of a Pivot, excuse me. And what we meant by that was, if you're not getting up every day and working hard to find joy, then stop and change directions and pivot hard the other way and make different decisions to try to find some joy, because it's that important.
Yeah. And then our second book, which was recently released, is The Power of a Pause. And ironically, we came up with this title before the pandemic, and we were really talking about sort of that intentional pause, right? We, as women in particular, you know, we're going, and we don't ever take the time to sort of stop and rest and go inward for that self-development. And so we were talking about that sort of intentional pause, and then the whole world paused, right? And so then we added in some information about, you know, those unintended pauses, right? You know, whether it's an illness or a death in the family or a pandemic.
Yeah. So, you know, the one thing that I've learned is that living this way is really a lot better. It takes a lot of work, as many things do, but I found that choosing joy and being positive just infiltrates into every aspect of your life. So reach out to us. You can go to our website, thewisdomcoalition.com. Our email is findyourjoy@thewisdomcoalition.com. We'd love to hear from you, get your feedback.
Yeah, and of course, follow us on social media, and we would love for you to listen to our podcast and subscribe.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your kind attention, and we hope we've just given you a nugget or two about, you know, what's so important about mindset and positivity, and really making this decision in your life to choose joy.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Kim. At this point in the day, I have to agree, I'm coming back as a banana too. Just kidding. But I agree, positivity is key. So that was a great panel discussion. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Turn your camera and mic off. You guys were wonderful. We have another great panelist joining us now, Ann Baum. You can go ahead and turn your camera and mic on. And what's funny, I'll give a little story here while Ann's joining us, is that I met Nancy and Kim and Ann what seems like a lifetime ago at the Emerge Women magazine event back in 2019, I think. So it's great to see you, Ann.
Nice to see you too. Can you hear me, Genesis?
I can hear you. Take it away.
Yay! All right. Oh my gosh, what an amazing day we are experiencing. I am so inspired and humbled, and I've got a million thoughts of change and how to be a better person. And I was editing my remarks as we kept going through. Ooh, I got to put that in there. Ooh, I got to put that in there. So I'm just so honored. And Ngozi, thank you so much for including me today. It's been awesome. The talent, the women of the Valley, you're amazing. So it's just an honor to be here. So Ngozi, she's so smart, and she has this vision for this program, and she sent me my topic, which you can see on the agenda. And I stared at those words and said, what are you asking me to do? This is a big, huge topic. How am I the capable person to do it? So I asked her for some clarity. She gave me some amazing advice. And I really narrowed it down to this: why corporate citizenship and giving back matters. So that's what I'm going to talk about for these next 10 minutes or so. So let's step back and look at things from a business perspective. Community matters to the success of a company. Without a strong community, it's almost impossible for a business to succeed. So the logical conclusion is that support of the community is a key business principle, and that must be pursued with enthusiasm and commitment. I always love quotes, and I'd like to start with this quote that you've probably heard before. It comes from the letters of John Wesley, but it's very strong and impactful. He said, "Do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can." Wow, that just hits me and says, wow, what a great way to think of the importance of giving back. And similar to what Nancy and Kim were just telling us about starting our day with joy and making that decision, we too, and the companies that we run or the companies we work with, we too can make that decision to give back to our community. So why is it important for a business to engage in the community and give back? Well, first of all, a successful business needs a strong community to support its success. So from a strong infrastructure of transportation, schools, emergency services, community safety, healthcare, social services, when these services are excellent and function well in a community, the business doesn't have to worry about providing those services, and they can focus on achieving their mission. And they can know that when they recruit their employees, when their employees are there, present, living in the community, that community is strong and stable. And the business can rely on the community to support those core functions. But secondarily, communities need businesses to be successful, because a successful business not only delivers valuable products and services to the community, because we need these things, but more importantly, a successful business creates good paying jobs. It provides people that can be volunteers, community leaders, and it creates income that reinvested in the not-for-profit organizations and in the community itself to provide a safety net and help that community grow and develop. Our Lehigh Valley is a perfect example of how these two concepts come together to build a successful community. This is one of the primary reasons that my family was attracted to this community and we relocated here. Corporate engagement and support of the community is table stakes. It's not an exception here. It's the rule. It's how we do business in the Lehigh Valley. And it's why an event like today's can be so successful, because it's just what we do. We come together to support people who have great ideas in order to make our community stronger. It's how we stand out as a community. We all take our businesses, our communities seriously. And it's why we win awards. The best place to start a business, best places to retire, why site selectors and companies that want to find the very best place to locate their business and where their employees can thrive, that's why they look here and they're coming here. And what can we do? The women of the world, the women of the Lehigh Valley. And I wish I could see, I'm imagining all of you out in front of me with your fist up and saying, yeah, we're awesome. Well, here's the things we can do. The first is take the call. When somebody reaches out to you, they reach out on LinkedIn, they send you an email, they text you. You might not know them, but they're asking for your help. Answer it. Look around. Hear what they have to say. See how you can help. 2, contribute in any way that you are able. Your time, your talent, your treasure, or all 3. 3rd, raise your hand and step up to the plate. Everybody needs somebody to have their back, their support tribe, their team members, people that can make a difference. And every one of you can do that in a small way or a huge way. And then 4, challenge your business, whether it's your own or a company that you work for, challenge that business and other businesses in our community to give back. Whether it's dollars, whether it's people, get engaged, make our community better. Everyone has something to give. Every single one of you are born with skills and talents that can help our community be stronger. It's not just about money or names on buildings. Every little bit matters. We can make a difference. We, all of us, we can help one another in our community. And that is especially true in the Lehigh Valley. I've never seen a community like our home. Give yourselves a round of applause, Lehigh Valley. We totally rock. And that's because of all of you, the women leaders in the Lehigh Valley. You're committed to greatness. I'm sure many of you have read Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. And it starts with a simple sentence that says, good is the enemy of great. Let that sink in. Good is the enemy of great. How often is it easier to settle for good or fine instead of going that extra level to push for grace? But we, as women leaders, we can't settle for fine and good. Keep pushing for great. Go the extra mile. Strive for greatness. It's amazing what you'll accomplish. Let's keep our Lehigh Valley strong and make it stronger by continuing to support our community and one another. It's what makes the Lehigh Valley a great place to live, work, and play, and it's our superpower. It is why this is such an amazing place. So I'll leave you with one more quote from Betsy Reese. She said, if you think you're too small to be effective, you have never been in bed with a mosquito. I hope all of you are laughing right now. I'm imagining your laughter, me slapping, laughing right along with me. Have a wonderful evening and keep making the Lehigh Valley great. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. That was wonderful.
Thanks.
We will now go ahead and bring up a dance group. I don't know if Violet, you want to come up on stage to introduce Ogene Dance. I'll give you a couple of seconds to join on. I'm not sure if that's confirmed yet, if you'll be joining us, but if not, we do have the dance video that we can roll right into. I want to say here during this pause that I'm looking through the general chat, and just all of the things that all of you women are putting in is great. So you guys can keep putting in comments in the chat, keep encouraging other panelists and speakers as they come on. I'm sure they appreciate it. I don't see Violet, so why don't we just go ahead and play the video. Okay, you ladies Absolutely killed it. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much for that dance. Next up, it's a pleasure to introduce Meloney Sallie Dosunmu. Go ahead and turn your camera and microphone on. Meloney will speak with us about getting things done, overcoming hardships with strategies, and productivity work plans, which is something I need. Meloney, thanks for joining us.
Hello, everybody. Wow, this has just been so amazing. Genesis, so good to see you. It's been a long time. You weren't a mom the last time I saw you. Thank you so much, Ngozi, for inviting me to be a part of this. And wow, I've just been blown away by the speakers that have been on before me. Let me just bring up my slides here. This has just been so awesome. I kind of wanted to dance with the ladies that were dancing, but it couldn't get up from my computer here. So I'm hoping that you can see my slides. Are you seeing my slides here? Turn on screen sharing. Let me try this again. All right, I'm sharing my slides here. So we're talking about getting things done, overcoming hardships with strategies and productivity work plans. And I hope everyone can hear me. So again, as Ann said, Ngozi reached out to me with this topic, and you know, it's a fascinating topic for me, and I just want to share with you. In 2015, I actually it was I would say a year of hardships. I know for most people, 2020 was a year for hardships, but in 2015, in a matter of 3 months, I lost my job, and then a month later, I lost my daughter who passed away, and then a month later, I lost my marriage. So 2015 was a year of hardships. And it was a year because I still had children at home and I still had, you know, to survive. It was a year where I really needed to learn how to overcome hardships and I needed to get things done. So I believe I really learned how to overcome hardships. And so I want to share some just, you know, in 10 minutes, we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to be moving really, really fast in this session and just share some ideas that have been effective for me. So getting things done, overcoming hardships with strategies and productivity work plans. So just a little bit about me. I am the HR director of Allentown, the city of Allentown. I also have a small business that I still run just slightly on the side. I've been involved in human resources, primarily, lots of different kinds of organizations. I teach for Harvard Business Publishing. So that's enough about me. I just want to say a little bit about this topic. So this is kind of our roadblock, and I'm going to be dashing through this content in 10 minutes. So I will be talking fast, but I'm going to talk a little bit about just a few kind of foundational things, such as your mindset, the issue of self-care, and some things about your personal mission, some things that you want to do, you want to have in place in order to be able to just set yourself up, be able to get things done. And then we'll talk about workplace productivity plans, and then we'll talk about some strategies that have been very helpful for me and strategies that I hope be helpful for you as well. So the first thing that I want to talk about is self-care. I think oftentimes as women, we put other people's care, other people's situations ahead of our own. So often, you know, we make sure that the children are taken care of. If we're moms, we make sure that other people's needs are taken care of, even in the workplace sometimes. And it's so important if we're going to be productive, that we set aside time for ourselves, that we do put ourselves first from time to time, that we do prioritize that self-care, whether it means eating right for ourselves, taking time to exercise, making sure that we get enough rest and enough sleep. The idea of being able to take some self-care every single day is an important part of being able to be productive and getting things done. might sound counterproductive, but we can be so much more productive if we take a few minutes out every day, do something for ourselves. It just brought me so much joy to hear the Wisdom Coalition talk about mindset, because mindset is another important kind of precursor or prerequisite to being able to get things done. And I can't really add to what they said. I mean, there's so much, there was so much wisdom, of course, and power in what they had to say about mindset. And if we're going to be productive and get things done, our mindset really matters. I just have a couple of thoughts that I want to add about mindset. And the first thing is that can-do mindset. We want to start our day recognizing that we can do what we need to get done. We don't want to have a kind of defeated mindset. I know I talked about what 2015 had for me, but I needed to be able to have a mindset that says, I can overcome these things. I can pick up the pieces of my life, put them back together. I took that loss of job and was able to build a business out of it. Took that loss of marriage. I couldn't do anything about the loss of my daughter except learn to live with it. Took that loss of marriage, was able to build myself into a woman who's able to be actually very happily alone. And then that will do attitude. Not only can I do what needs to be done, but I will do it. So getting up with that will to achieve, that will to go through those barriers. Now we will face barriers every single day. And I think we've seen it in the pandemic. We face so many barriers. How do we get toilet paper? Even things like toilet paper, getting toilet paper in our house, or hand sanitizer in a time when the shelves were bare. Figuring out that how do I take care of what needs to happen? But we have that can do, but we also have to have a will do attitude. Just something I've heard through the years that has really become kind of a mantra for me. A setback is a setup for your comeback. Another important piece, or an important part of the foundations of being able to get things done, is having a personal mission. Know what matters to you. Know where you want to get to. I want to be my personal mission. I want to be a person who anyone I spend time with feels like I've made a difference in their life, that I leave them better than I found them. That's my personal mission. If I spend time with you, I want, when we walk away from each other, for you to feel like, wow, I got a nugget from that person, or I grew a little bit from spending time with her. That's my personal mission, to actually speak into people's lives or pour into people's lives in a way that takes them to a place where they are either able to achieve better, feel better, learn something new, or they've grown. Or that's my personal mission. So think about, what is your personal mission? That's my mission at work. That's my mission as a minister. That's my mission as an educator. So those are some of the things that have to be in place: that personal mission, self-care, that mindset. So what about the practical side of it? Workplace productivity plan. A workplace productivity plan is simply what you can put together in terms of making sure that you are as productive as possible in the workplace. And these are things that you've clearly, very likely heard of before. This is just a reminder of things that you've heard of before. You've got to have your goals. You've got to have your objectives, your priorities, your tasks, a daily performance review. You look back over your day. What have I accomplished compared to what I wanted to accomplish? I just want to unpack each of these really quickly, just as a reminder. So the first thing is the goals. And I'm going to share with just walk through this as an example of a goal that I have. And I'm going to use a goal that I have here in my role as the Director of Human Resources for the City of Allentown. So one of the goals for the City of Allentown is to increase the we want to increase the hiring of residents, Allentown residents. Whenever possible, we want to hire people that actually live in the city. So here's the goal. So I'm going to focus on this goal, just using it as an example of just a piece of my workplace productivity plan. So here it is. My goal is to increase the hiring of Allentown residents in Parks and Recreation summer program by December 21. When I came to Allentown, most of the summer the folks that were hired in the Parks and Recreation, lifeguards and parks programs, they were hired from mostly from out in the suburbs of Allentown. So the objectives. So your objectives are, mini goals, many objectives that lead up to the goal. So what were some of our objectives? To develop job fairs in Allentown and to remove some of the financial barriers. What does that mean? So the job fairs we were having job fairs only in Parkland. So the objective was to increase job fairs actually in the city of Allentown so we could reach Allentown youth. And then another objective was to remove financial barriers. And the financial barrier was that it cost, it was expensive to get young people certified to be lifeguards, as well as to get them background checks. So this is just an example. That was our objective. So you want to identify what your goal is, identify your objectives, and then you identify your priorities. What are the priorities? So we actually were able to have job fairs that we did this in 2020. We're now focused on it for 2021. In 2020, we did all of this, but of course we weren't able to open the polls. But then what you do is you develop your priorities. So what am I going to do this week? What am I going to do this month in order to get these objectives done? Then you identify your tasks. What am I going to do today in order to get my looking for my priorities? What task am I going to do today? And then you want to do a daily performance review every day. At the end of the day, just take a quick look at your list and say, hey, where am I with this goal? Where am I with this objective? Which task did I complete? What do I need to do tomorrow? And if I do this every single day, can take 10 minutes, it's going to make me a lot more productive. So these are just a review of the workplace productivity plan and how I can make sure that I'm achieving the most important things that I need to achieve every single day. So I also have just a few strategies. I only have 1 more minute, so let me just go through these really quickly. And some of the, of course, this may be a review for you. This may be just a reminder of some strategies that are very effective. The first one is time blocking. And that is, our calendars get so, they can get so blocked with meetings and things that we need to do for other people. It's important for me. I'm not going to say what's important for you. It's important for me to set aside time. If I know that I've got deliverable, it needs to be completed by Friday, I'm going to schedule time on my calendar Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I may schedule 30 minutes all 3 of those days that is scheduled an appointment with myself to work on that deliverable so that by Friday it's achieved, so that I'm not working 6, 7, 8 o'clock to complete something during that I should have been able to get done during the week. So blocking time and not feeling guilty about it and protecting that time, setting deadlines for myself. So if this particular goal is due Friday, then I want this chunk of it done Tuesday and this other chunk of it done Thursday. So that's another strategy, is to set deadlines for yourself for the tasks that you need to get done. Set those deadlines so that you've got kind of intermittent deadlines for yourself. And I always make my deadlines for the actual deadline so that I have a little bit of flex time in case anything happens that, I have to flex a little bit. Take breaks. That's another important part, another important strategy about being productive. Take breaks. Build in times for yourself. Get up, walk away from your desk. Even if you're working from home, take breaks. You want to make sure that, you get a chance to kind of refresh your brain. I heard the Wisdom Coalition say it. They talked about that pause and how important that pause is. You want to pause. Another important strategy is saying no. A very common characteristic of women, especially women in business, is we take it on. We take it on. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. People ask me to do something. I take it on. Say no. Look, sometimes we have to say no. Sometimes we have to say not yet. Sometimes we have to say, maybe let me help you come up with a strategy for how you can get that done without me taking it on. Sometimes we have to be able to just, not take on something that's going to distract me from my key priorities. And the other strategy is to be proactive. When I see something that needs to be done, I'm going to go after it before someone else puts it on my plate. And that gives me just a little bit more control over how it gets done. So I'm hoping that these strategies have been helpful. I just want you to, before we close out, just think of one thing that you can do. Hopefully some of these strategies or the productivity plan, workforce productivity plan has maybe triggered an idea for you. I want you to go ahead and use the chat in one thing you can do in order to get more done and to be more productive. Go ahead and chat that in. One thing. Hopefully you've up an idea, or if you haven't picked up an idea, just something that you can think of to make you be even more productive. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention.
Melanie, that was fantastic. You must have read my mind because everything you said just spoke to my soul. So thank you for that presentation.
My pleasure.
We will now bring up again Congresswoman Susan Wild. She will be sharing our award recipients and congratulating them. So Congresswoman, go ahead and turn on your mic and cam. There you are. Take it away.
Thank you so much. And I agree. I listened to every word of what Melanie had to say because I felt like I needed it so much. And some of those tips were really, really helpful, I thought. I particularly paid attention to, even when you're working from home, give yourself a break. And, you know, it's so true. We're hearing that people are working longer hours than ever now that they're working from home because there's no start and end time. So great advice. And that was really, really nice. So it's my distinct pleasure to be able to present some awards, which is really exciting. As we celebrate the contributions of women in our lives and throughout our society, I am honored to present some of the awards today to some outstanding women leaders in our community. First, I want to acknowledge Reverend Carrie Holmes, who received the Gatherer Award, but I understand she wasn't able to be on earlier. So Reverend Holmes, Carrie, we all want to acknowledge you for sure. And then the Unity in Diversity Community Award is given to a woman or women focused on our community, and it strives to create a platform to springboard and support others who are inclusive of their diversity. This Unity and Diversity Award is presented to three phenomenal women. Dr. Miranda Tabo Iwukem, I hope I didn't mess that up too much, Lisa M. Perry, and Cynthia Moda. Congratulations to all you wonderful women, and congratulations to all of the award recipients today. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Susan Wild. Thank you for coming. Thank you for representing what is best of us as women. And thank you to these wonderful women who have done this amazing work. So here are your proclamations. They will be shipped out to you.
Oh, good.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah.
I see Miranda and Lisa. I don't see Cynthia, but maybe it's just the limitations of a screen.
No,
but I'm just so happy for you, and I'm happy to award you these proclamations.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
And then for Dr. Cynthia Mota, she's getting our first Rising Together Women History Month Unity in Diversity Community Award. She works for the government, so it will be a conflict of interest for her to also get a declaration. So she's getting our very first personal award from the organization. So congratulations, Dr. Cynthia Mota. So we're going to pass it on to you ladies to please give us a few words about yourself and why you made this award, or anything you want to tell us. Thank you so much. So Dr. Tabo.
Okay. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Wild, and thank you so much, Mrs. Bell. I think for the initiative and for the organization of this and putting this together. You know, I look at awards as a baton to move forward, right? It's like when you give an award, it's saying you have to keep moving forward. And I definitely want to thank you also very much. You know, while looking at it as a baton, I also look at it as a way to enjoy the moment. But then, you know, looking back and looking at what were the successes, what were the failures, how could one do any better? And more or less look at the joy in making a difference in a student's life in one way or the other. And I think that alone is the motivation. And we didn't get here just by being alone. Families had to sacrifice certain times, allowing you to travel, and friends and colleagues and collaborators all made a difference. And I definitely want to thank each and every one of them and my family, and to all the friends and you, Ngozi, as well, for just acknowledging a little part of work that that I do, or that all the other women have been able to do. And I definitely want to thank Dr. Kwame, who nominated me for this award. But thank you also very much. I think it's a passion of mine to educate the next generation, be it in the diaspora, and be it especially also in Africa as well, and within the context of the US. And I will keep it up. Thank you also very, very much.
Hello, my name's Lisa Perry. I'm the director of Second Chance Training Center, and I'd like to thank Deb Kalidas for nominating me for this award. Just to tell you a little bit about what Second Chance does, we offer services to inmates that are presently incarcerated or those that are returning citizens that get out: employment, education, housing, anything really that they ask for, whether it's in local in Lehigh County or across the state, and sometimes in other states. Actually, I've been contacted. We were going into the jail and running a program at the county jail, but due to COVID, we've been on lockdown since March of last year. So we haven't been able to run any programs, but I'm still in contact with inmates that are upstate at state correctional institutions, writing letters and things like that. We were supposed to have a virtual reentry fair in December, and then at the last minute it was canceled due to COVID issues. So really what we do is we help people try to get reintegrated into society for them to be successful. So if you know of anybody that needs help getting out and reintegrating, or if they have family members that need help, please have them give me a call. Thank you very much for the award.
Congratulations, ladies. I believe that Cynthia Mota is having tech issues getting on. If she's able to join, we'll bring her onto the stage once she's back up. But thank you again, ladies. Congratulations. We will move on in the program. We have Chase Morrison up next. Chase, if you want to go ahead and turn on your camera and microphone, he is going to be playing the cello for us. So Chase Morrison will be joining me up on stage now.
Thank you very much for inviting me today, Ngozi. I'm really delighted to be here. And I'm going to play a piece I wrote that's called American Original.
Chase, that was great. Round of applause. Don't go anywhere. Would you mind playing us another song?
Oh my goodness.
Am I putting you on the spot if I ask you to do that?
No, that's okay. I can play something for you.
All right, great.
This is a male composer, the next one.
Okay.
Okay.
Round of applause. That was incredible. Thank you. You are incredible. We had a fashion show next, but you know what? Change in schedule. I'm actually going to bring Jami up on stage with us, who's going to do a presentation instead. And while she's coming up, I just want to echo what Deb Kalita said earlier. We are just such an incredible powerhouse as women. So feel free to add each other on LinkedIn and connect with the speakers. You know, March is International Women's History Month, but let's not connect until next March. Like, let's connect now. You know, let's continue this conversation after today. And there Jami is.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I don't really have anything to really present. I am the one kind of in charge of the trivia and the silent auction as well. So my hope was just to remind everyone to continue to participate in the trivia. I'm going to extend the deadline to 8 p.m. We have some great prizes that I would love to continue or would like to give out. So I'm going to extend the deadline to 8 p.m. I know that we all have just been kind of enthralled with everything going on the main stage. So I just wanted to give more opportunities for that. And then if you would like to or are interested in art, I would encourage you to also check out some of the artwork that we have for raffle on the on our raffle page, and you can find all the links to this on the whiteboard. There's some just really great art. Even if you're not interested in buying, I would just encourage you to take a look because it's all really, really very beautiful, and the artist really did a great job. So it'd just be nice to appreciate some of that. So I guess everyone can carry on with the conference. That's all I have to share.
Thank you, Yamira. I just want to say thank you so much, Yamira. You've been working so hard at that and helped us design that whole process. So thank you. I think we have Cynthia Mota coming in.
Let me just kick in here because I think we're waiting for Cynthia to join us. Cynthia was one of the award recipients. She was having tech issues earlier. So I think now she's able to jump on and share her remarks as well. Hi, Cynthia.
I'm glad. So nice to be here.
Go ahead, give your remarks for your award. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is really exciting. I would like to thank Ngozi for nominating me for this wonderful award. And thank you for empowering and also celebrating women. And also for this wonderful, wonderful event. do not know me, I'm Councilwoman Cynthia Moda, and I am humbled to get this award today. Every woman that I have been blessed to help and empower has really empowered me. I can never forget my time running around the Dominican Republic barefooted. I will never forget coming from Second Street in Allentown, and to be the first Afro Latina woman to sit on City Council. I can feel like to be in need. So I will always do my best to be a hand up in my city. Muhammad Ali said, service is the rent we pay for life. As we talk about empowerment today, I ask that we live unified, thinking how can we continue to push an empowering woman, empowering families, and also empowering our communities. Let's make a commitment to celebrate the greatness in ourselves so that we can enjoy the greatness in each other. John Lennon said, love your imperfection, love your perfect imperfections. So let's remember not to look down on no one unless you're lifting them up. Let's be accountable and do whatever we can. Not because we have to, but because we are blessed to. I am grateful to be honored in 2020, 2021, but there's still so much work that needs to be done. I encourage everyone who is looking to make a difference to make a difference together. Nosotros somos. I am because we are. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Cynthia. Very well deserved. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to give an opportunity for Pastor Carrie Holmes to join us. I know she was having some tech issues too, so if you also want to come up and say a few words as well, turn on your camera and mic. I believe you have access now. I'll give you the opportunity to also say a few words as well. And in the meantime, while she's doing that, I've been taking notes all day. A friend of mine recently suggested that when you sit in on these types of webinars, open up the notes app on your phone and just take notes of some of the things that just stick with you. And before you go to bed at night, scroll down those notes and just look back at some of the things that just really impacted you. And that's one way to keep it in your mind. And so as I was looking at the notes, one of the things that Jane Wells Schooley said was build your circle of influence. And so that really stuck with me. I really liked, when she said that. So everyone has said some pretty incredible things. I'm really honored to be here today. It looks like we won't have Pastor Holmes with us, but what I'm going to do is close out this session, and I'm going to bring out Ngozi Bell with us, and then we will conclude session C. So thank you guys again for allowing me to moderate this. This has been a real pleasure being with you guys. And thank you to Deb, and thank you to Favor too, who are my other co-moderators today.
Okay, quickly, if you can get it.
There you are. We hear you, but we don't see you yet.
Okay, my video is coming up. Okay, so can I have Deb and also have, so Genesis and Deb and where is my Favor?
We're ready to take this on the road.
Genesis and Deb. Where's Favor? What did she go do? She's the youngest of us all, and she's the one that disappeared, huh?
That's right.
Favor, where are you? But
There we go.
Okay, good, wonderful. So nice to see you all. So I just wanted to say a few things. One is, the next Women History Month event is in 2020. It's on Saturday, March 19th. So we normally announce that the year before. So we're hoping that we'll have this amazing opportunity again. It's been such a wonderful day. And I just want to say the biggest of thanks to these three lovely ladies. You know, what is ironic is when we were looking at 2020, of course, Deb has always been by my side, so I just assume she's gonna do it. I'm sure one year she'll say, stop, just stop making decisions. But she has
My
been
pleasure.
amazing. So I asked Genesis to do it in 2020, and she couldn't because she had a baby, and she suggested someone, and I got the person on. And how ironic that we ended up not doing it. 2021 comes along, and there she is. And then my lovely Favor. Favor is one of the most passionate, big-hearted young women you could ever meet. Just smart, but just incredibly passionate, incredibly kind. Honestly, you're seeing some of the best examples of women between Deb, Genesis, and Favor, ready to give up their time, ready to share with you, ready to give the best of themselves to a cause that's bigger than them. This is what womanhood, this is what sisterhood is all about. So I just want to thank all of you. You are amazing. You have made this day incredible. We're all excited. We're all the better because you're here and you guys are consummate professionals. I say a big thank you. And then when you finish, I think we're just going to announce there's a fashion show that's coming on. So they said they'll be ready in a few minutes. So maybe each of you can just talk about what today meant for you, why you did it, why do you keep doing these things? Why do you allow people ask you to do something that takes out of your personal time to just to be of value to others that, just tell me, why did you do this? Why did you say yes when I called? So Deb, let's start with you.
Sure, I'm happy to go first. In reflecting upon that first year, I felt like this was a little bit like that first year again, like, is anyone going to show up? You know, new format, new things going on. I have had the blessing of a reoccurrence feeling of being so energized at the end of what is going on. It's like a discussion that you don't want to end, and you want everyone to get back together as quickly as possible to continue on. What I've been most impressed about is, I keep pointing to that number that's above my head. There's 96 people right now. I think we got to 103, 105. Like, that is held steady. And I know during the work week, like, the number goes up and then drops just as quickly as it did. And the fact that we have 100 women and men right now united in our hearts and in our minds together as we go out into the world and what we do, that is why I'm here. And if there was one person, it would be worth it. We're blessed that there's 100. Next year, let's all invite 10 and we'd have 1,000 people, which would be quite a goal. So we'll need a big venue, Ngozi. So let's get started.
Absolutely. Thank you. So Genesis.
You know what?
We're going by age, Favor.
Does that make me the youngest or the oldest?
Just take whatever role you want. Whichever format you want.
Oh man.
Hey, this was pretty awesome. Like I mentioned before, it's really hard to come together, I think, in this pandemic with other women. And so just the fact that this platform exists, the fact that we're able to listen to some incredible women, not national women, which I think is striking. It's women here in the Lehigh Valley. I mean, we have an incredible pool of resources here. And so I just think that this was awesome. I'm so honored to be part of the event. I want to thank you, Ngozi, for actually putting this together. You give us thanks, but this is all you. You are the mastermind behind this event. So round of applause to you. I know all the 96 people that are in their homes are just clapping right now for you. You did a great job. And so again, just thank you for allowing me to be part of today.
Thank you.
So
Favor.
when Ngozi asked me to come onto this program, I think she knew that I was looking for something more. I was looking to grow with other women, to engage with other women, to learn alongside and from other women. And I love what Ngozi has done with this program because I've been able to watch discussions where we figure out solutions, where we craft equitable solutions to the problems in current society, where we create that actionable change. So I'm so grateful to be here. Like, this was an experience like no other, and I can't wait to participate next year.
Oh, thank you so much. And I want to use this opportunity to say that Ashley from V Summits and Chris, incredible, just incredible people. And we have some young volunteers that have just blown me away. Just really wonderful, kind young women, Anna, Kaya, Reina, Jamili, just amazing young women who have given themselves to be part of this. And I just cannot stop without saying thank you to my daughter. Two of my daughters were in here. So we had, Zanita was there, but Yamira Bell, who did a fabulous job, jumped in and just participated. And of course, Zanita, who is always there just doing great things and always being there for everyone. So I think the last part of this is, I think the Genesis, are they supposed to bring back the Ogene dances just to close out?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
Ashley is back on, yes.
Yeah, you know what? Blame for this. We cut the video before Violet's dance. So I thought it would be nice if we could end with Violet's dance.
Okay.
Lovely.
And I guess while we're waiting for the video, let me say thank you to everyone. Anna, Ann Baum, thank you so much. All my speakers, you guys were amazing, amazing. I don't want to start saying names lest I forget, but everyone who spoke, everyone who participated, everyone who danced, everyone who, the panelists, the Wisdom Coalition, all of you were just incredible. I was just writing stuff like a crazy person. So I am super, super grateful. I called, you answered, you listened, you stayed, you performed, you participated. You guys are awesome. This is you've sort of put an exclamation mark on community and on unity and on goodness. So just thank you to all of you. Thanks. So we'll see the last dance and we'll be done. Hi, everyone. So I just got some really good news that the fashion show is actually queued up. So they're going to be setting that up now. So if you can stay, we'd like you to watch the fashion show. And then, of course, Ashley is here. Wow.
And Gazi, what a great show. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. I can't just say strong women because we've got some great men behind us for this event. Thank you so much, Chris. As you know, we had, I'll let you tell the voice's story. We had someone come all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to do the fashion show. And these girls were up in studios late last night trying to get things done. And, unfortunately, we had some delays, but we just got the pre-recorded video that they shot today in the studio of her fashions. And we didn't want to leave without all of you getting to see that. So I'm super excited. That should be loaded here any minute. Chris is going to tell me he's ready to share it.
Okay. So while that's going on.
So he's ready. So we'll end with that. But Ngazi, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ashley. You and Chris have been phenomenal. So I will give you any kudos you need. You guys have done a fabulous, fabulous job. Thank you. Great partners. Yeah.
All right. I'm so excited to see the fashion show. Let's do it.
So are we ready? Let's do it. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but that fashion is from La Boy's brand. La Boy's has been at our event for the last 4 years. She comes all the way from Atlanta, and the person who choreographs this whole thing is Cyree Jackson. She is amazing. She's done New York Fashion Show. She's a producer. She's just a consummate artist. So just two partners that are incredible to work with. So I'm really excited that we at least got to see some of it. I'm sorry that it seemed like it stopped abruptly, but La Boyce's fashion is incredible. She's creative with fabrics, with movements of clothing and all the wonderful things she does. So we're just happy that we're able to at least show some of the work that she has done as part of her collection for this year. And Cyree for putting it all together. That was Cyree's studio that all the production came out of. So if anybody wants to contact her, please let me know. She's an incredible person to work with. So the next thing we're going to do from here on out is go back to the floor At that point, you can network, you can get to meet each other, you can get to spend some more time. You can absolutely oh, by the way, the fashions today that were put together were actually by Cyree. They were Cyree's fashion. So Cyree has her own collection. She put all that stuff together. So I misspoke about La Boy's brand. La Boy's has been working with me for a few years, but this was all Cyree's collection, and they were fabulous. And Cyree actually worked many years ago teaching models. So she's an expert when it comes to modeling and movements and the stylistics and all that. So we're going to send you back to the floor where you can network a little bit until you're ready to go. Thank you again for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for participating, and thank you for everything that you do. And we hope that we see you all next year. And like Deb said, times 10. That will be wonderful, right? So take care, everyone. Thank you.